Welcome to Dresden!
We've traveled throughout Germany for over 30 years, and trust me, Dresden is a total showstopper. In this guide, we're covering it all, from the stunning major historical sites and the world-class Old Masters Gallery to the alternative vibe of the Neustadt. We're also digging into delicious street food, authentic Saxon dinners, and sharing our top tips for a perfect trip. This is the ultimate guide to Dresden. Let's go!
This giant mural behind me, I think it's about 100 meters long. This is called the, forgive my pronunciation, the Fürstenzug, which I think basically means the parade of royals. And it is basically the royal family of everyone who ruled Saxony, basically the history of Saxony, the royals, almost. Doesn't quite all go all the way to the end, but it's almost all of them. But what's very interesting about this, it's like 24,000 porcelain tiles are put together to make this. Originally, it was just a long mural, but that faded, and you could get to the point you could barely see it. So they made the porcelain tiles. Meissen, which is a city not far from Dresden, produces like the porcelain capital of Europe, basically. So each one of these is a small detailed tile. The work involved to create this, unbelievable. So there's a guy, where is he? Right there, August the 2nd, August the Strong. Basically, he's responsible for creating beautiful Dresden that we know today, right? So he was a powerful guy, big guy, and he invested a lot of money to make Dresden beautiful. Now, what's very interesting about this wall and all these tiles, when you look around Dresden and you're looking at all these beautiful buildings, almost every one of them in the city center were either completely damaged or partially damaged during World War II. So it was the inner of the city was almost completely leveled, except for this wall. And so what I was told, our tour guide told us earlier, that the way they bombed Dresden, they used incendiary bombs. So they just came in and created like big flash of fire and everything burned. And all the heat is basically what destroyed the buildings. They didn't like get blown up, but the heat eventually, after a couple of days, destroyed all the buildings. Well, these tiles, they make these porcelain tiles with heat, of course. So they were already exposed to so much heat, so the heat did not destroy them. So if you look at old pictures of Dresden, almost everything is completely destroyed except this wall, this parade of royals right here in the heart of Dresden. So we are on the Neumarkt, the new market square, and behind me is the absolute symbol of Dresden, the Frauenkirche, or the Church of Our Lady, we would say. In English, Notre Dame in French. The church, as it looks like now, was built in the 1700s. It replaced an older church that was built, I believe, in the 1100s. That church burned down, and then August the Strong the people asked him to rebuild the church. They built it in the 1700s. Looks like it is, like it looks now. Was destroyed in the bombings of April 1945, and was pretty much completely leveled. There was a couple of walls remaining up, but pretty much really devastated. This whole square was just a field, basically, and you could see pictures from the 50s of livestock out here feeding in this field because they didn't really do anything with it. The church was rebuilt after German reunification, and it was reopened, I believe, in 2005. So very recently, it was reopened. It's absolutely beautiful. If you walk inside, it doesn't cost anything. They ask for donations, of course. Absolutely spectacular. The interior. Now, when they rebuilt it, they attempted to use the blocks, the stones of the original church, they used those when they could. So if you look at the different colors, most of them are very light color. The darker ones are actually from the original church that were reused, and then of course the couple walls that were still up. Now it's very interesting, if you look at the very top of the church, the golden cross up there, the goldsmith who created that cross, who made the cross, is from England, and his father was one of the bombers who from the UK who did one of the bombing runs here in Dresden. So kind of a little reconciliation, I guess. You know, his father was part of the flights that destroyed the city, and he recreated the cross to go on top. What a fitting touch. Just a beautiful church. Go inside. You can pay €10 and go up to the top, and there's a viewing platform up there. I haven't decided if I'm going to go or not. It seems kind of expensive, and my thought is the Frauenkirche is the best thing you want to see in Dresden. So if you're up the top of it, you're not going to see the Frauenkirche. So I think I might pass on that. But absolutely spectacular, and it's just a beautiful church. They did a great job rebuilding it, and you got to go inside and take a look. It's absolutely spectacular.
If you're hungry in Dresden, hit the to-go window at Metropolis Urban Bistro. For just €4, this Thüringer bratwurst is a steal. Hot, juicy, and perfect with that spicy mustard. But save room. We walked just up the street for this incredible Saxon bubble waffle piled with whipped cream. Pro tip, they make these fresh to order, so be patient. The wait takes a while, but that warm, crispy waffle is absolutely worth it. And we were so hungry, we forgot to video our food. We just ate it all up. Good.
So we are in the Zwinger, the August the Strong's pleasure palace, I guess you could say. And this was built to celebrate his son's, August the 3rd, to celebrate his wedding. And they just had a huge party, beautiful gardens out here. And I guess the party went on for days and days, if not weeks. And they had so much fun that they decided to keep doing it. So they kept having parties here every so often. And our tour guide told us that a funny thing about these parties was they would weigh people when they came in for the party, and then they would weigh them when they left, days, weeks later after the party was over, and they would give a special award for whoever gained the most weight, whoever ate and drank the most while they were here celebrating these parties. So I don't know, it's a fun fact, I guess, but a very beautiful place. Now, luckily, the gardens just opened up. They were closed for like 4 years for some reconstruction, just painstaking, meticulous work. And because of the expense and the value of these buildings, they couldn't use a lot of heavy machinery. So a lot of the reconstruction was done by hand. That's why it took so long. But it's open now, just opened last week. So we're going to go walk down through the gardens. And another interesting fact about the Zwinger is this was used in the Cinderella movie. Cinderella from 2000, I think the early 2000 teens, when they had the royal ball where Cinderella lost her slipper. It was based here in the Zwinger. Here you go. All right, so behind me is the Dresden Semper Opera House. Semper was the architect who built it. This is one of the places that during the socialist East German times that they put a focus on rebuilding. So they wanted to build this as a symbol of the arts. They really promoted the arts. However, of course, they were very much against religion, so all the churches they did not rebuild. But interesting thing about the opera house is that we were told like a lot of the walls are hollow and they have like little secret passageways in there. And when it reopened, I believe it was in 1985 it reopened. It really, I guess, confused and kind of threw the Stasi, the police, it threw them off because they wanted to monitor everyone and see what was going on, but then they would lose track of people when they'd go into the secret passageway. So kind of interesting note about that. And the square, absolutely beautiful. You can see so many beautiful buildings from here. Right in front of me is the Catholic Church of Dresden, which is kind of strange. This was built way after the Reformation, when Dresden was strongly Protestant. There were very few Catholics living here. I think it was built in the 16th century. It was built during August the Strong's reign. And the reason he built a Catholic church was because August the Strong was not only the emperor of Saxony, but also he ruled Poland. And Poland was strongly Catholic. So to kind of, for political reasons, to get support from the people in Poland, he actually converted to Catholicism. And he built this Catholic church, which has a walkway that connects it to his palace. So that's kind of interesting. And over to my left, to your right, is one of the few remaining Italian houses. Now, August the Strong, when he toured around Europe as a young man, he fell in love with Italy and the architecture down there. So when he came back home to Dresden from Italy, he brought a bunch of Italian craftsmen with him, and they had houses where they lived, and that's one of the few remaining ones left. So all these beautiful buildings we see around Dresden, they were built and designed by Italian craftsmen that August the Strong brought up here with him when he came back from Italy. Okay, so it's time for some cake and coffee and kuchen. But today, a little bit different. We're going to have some chocolate and coffee and cake. Because Dresden was where, from what we understand, was where milk chocolate was kind of invented, or where milk was added to chocolate. Anyway, so we are in the Camondas Schokoladen Cafe. Cacao Stuba, right across from the residence. And we've ordered some, Betty ordered some hot chocolate. I ordered some chococino, so chocolate with espresso, and we ordered a piece of Dresden egg cake, Eier Schenke. So we'll see what that is, but it should be really good. We're excited for this chocolate. We're told it's really good, so we'll see. We'll show you more when it gets here. All right, so our chococino. Oh, that's really good. I like that. Yeah, it's good. It's a good mixture of chocolate and coffee. So if you like chocolate and you like coffee, I think you would like it. I'm gonna try this cake, the Dresdner Eier Schenke. That looks very light and fluffy. It's got cream at the bottom. It looks good. That's really good. It's nice and creamy. It's sweet, but not too sweet. It's got a nice crust at the bottom. It's really good. So Betty and I are sharing a piece of cake today, and I think we made a good choice. So I really like it. And so they also have a chocolate museum that you can visit. It's €6, €6.50, and you can go check out the history of chocolate here in Dresden. Oh, look at this! Oh, I'm going to try this. Look at this giant hot chocolate. Oh, it's good. This is dark chocolate, 72% dark chocolate. So it's not too sweet, but it's really good. It's nice and creamy. It's a really good chocolate flavor. So if you like chocolate and you're in Dresden, this is the place you got to come visit. It's quite tasty. I like it. And the shop next door, they have a lot of chocolate stuff for sale. It's really nice. A lot of cute stuff over there as well. So there you go, cake and coffee in Dresden. Loving it. Okay, so you can step in into the residence schloss, and right in this little courtyard, it's covered and it's pretty warm. So if it's a chilly day or if it's a rainy day, you can step inside here to get outside of the elements. We have the ticket booths to buy the tickets for the Green Treasury, which is a famous treasury here in Dresden. Today, it's Saturday, and it's around 2 o'clock in the afternoon. It's already sold out, and those are... we'll get you the prices on the screen shortly. I'll give you the hours as well. But I think it's the type of thing you have to reserve tickets for earlier if you want to go see it. And then you can walk into another very beautiful courtyard that's still under reconstruction. I'll show you that in just a second. So this is the courtyard of the residence schloss, or the residential palace. And this is, from what we were told, this is like the last piece of the reconstruction project that's been going on in Dresden basically ever since the reunification of Germany. They've been working to rebuild this beautiful city, and this is the last piece that's left, and it's supposed to open up next summer, so summer of 2026. They're supposed to be done working here, and this is absolutely stunning. It's so beautiful. The detail that they put into this place will just blow your mind. If you look at the walls, they look like they're 3D, but they're actually not. Everything is flat, and you go in and look at the little detail involved to give it that effect. Unbelievable, the work that they put in here, and also the money, because it's also very expensive. And you think about how expensive it must have been to build it in the first place, and then the reconstruction, it'll just blow your mind. But it is absolutely stunning. Now it's going to be even more beautiful next summer when it opens up. Okay, so we crossed over the Elbe River on the bridge that you may be able to guess the name, the Augustus Bridge. And behind me you may be able to guess who this is, all decked out in gold. That's right, this is Augustus on his horse. Augustus the Strong, Augustus II, on his horse, covered in gold, very striking when the sunlight hits it. And, this guy, basically, the more you learn about Dresden, you pretty much figure out that almost everything you see is here because of August the Strong. The palace, the Catholic Church, the big Protestant church, it's all because he wanted to make Dresden beautiful, and that's exactly what he did. And even his mistress, he built a palace for her connected to his palace, so that's even there because of August the Strong. But this guy, pretty much, Dresden owes its legacy to him. All right, so one reason why August the Strong was able to enrich Dresden so much and to build so many beautiful buildings and all these beautiful palaces, the reason he had so much money was because there was a scientist, a chemist who lived in Berlin, who said that he could create gold, right? He could go into his lab and he could create gold. August the Strong heard this and basically went up and kidnapped the guy, or he sent people to kidnap him, brought him back here to Dresden, locked him up, and said, okay, make gold. The guy kept trying and kept trying, never could make gold, but he did create porcelain, fine china, we would call it china, fine porcelain. And this, he became the first person in Europe to make it. And so they sold it all over the continent. Everybody wanted to buy porcelain. They made the workshop just down the road in Meissen, so they were able to sell that porcelain. And then he sold it for gold, and he got gold and got rich, and that's how he built all these beautiful buildings here in Dresden. And the poor guy, he kept him in captivity for the rest of his life. The poor guy who, I don't know why he said he could make gold, because he clearly couldn't, but he did discover porcelain, but it didn't do him any good. He still was forced to stay in captivity for the rest of his life. Dinner time in Dresden, and we are at the Kugelgen House. Not sure if that's the correct way to say that or not, but the Kugelgen House on the Neustadt, on the other side of the river. And so we've been told most of the nicer restaurants are away from the touristy old town over there. So we're on the new side, and I have Hirsch goulash. So Hirsch is a deer, and goulash is like a soup. You think of Hungarian goulash. And I have a canoodle, a semmel canoodle, so a bread canoodle that's been sliced and cooked, and has some salad and potatoes. And Betty has Saxon Sauerbraten, which is a beef dish, a sour roast with potato dumplings, Kartoffel Knödel, and some red cabbage. And that looks really good. That looks good. So basically every region of Germany has its own take on Sauerbraten. Some places I think it's actually horse, but this is beef. Some of it is really good, and some of it is not so good. So we'll see, but that looks great. I tell you, can't wait to dig in. I'm going to try some of this goulash. Look at that. Oh yeah, that's really good. I think we made a good choice coming to the Kugelgen House. Oh, and they have their own beer. This is a Pils, a homemade Pils. Well, it's actually made in the area. I don't know if it's actually made here or not, but on tap, really good beer. And yeah, this is a really nice meal. Can't wait to try Betty's Sauerbraten too. And these Klose or Kartoffel Knödel. This is a very common dish, very popular dish in Germany. Honestly, I'm not a huge fan. Betty loves them. Betty really likes them. Sometimes they're okay though. I'm gonna try some with the gravy. Oh, that is really good. That's good. I'm not a huge fan of these, but that is really good. The gravy is really good, and the red cabbage is really nice. So you take the sour of the gravy or the meat and mix it with some of the red cabbage, which is a little sweet. That's really good. I might want to keep this and let Betty have the goulash. I don't know, but anyway, great meal here at the Kugelgen House. The beer's great, the food's great, and I'm ready to eat some more. So this beautiful, really nice walkway up here along the banks of the Elbe River is called the Bruehl. Now, I know I'm mispronouncing that, B-R-U-H-L, but some people call it the Terrace of Europe. I don't know exactly who calls it that, but that's kind of his nickname, the Terrace of Europe. But it's just a nice place to come up for a stroll, especially now the sun's starting to go down. Just a beautiful day here in Dresden. Got plenty of benches to sit down. You can hear we got some music playing, nice places to sit and have a drink and just watch the world go by and watch people go by. In Neustadt, which is a little bit confusing because it's the new city, but actually the buildings over here are older than the ones on the other side of the river because those are all damaged during the war and have since been rebuilt. However, there's very little damage here on this side of the river. But where we're at now, this is called the Kunsthofpassage, or the Art Square Passage, I think would be the translation in English. And so we have like 5 different themed courtyards, and I am standing in the one called the Courtyard of the Elements. And this building right behind me. So this was an initiative, if I go back, I guess, to take old buildings and repurpose them and kind of, you know, make them look nice and do some arty stuff to them. This one behind me, you can see with these funnels and tubes and pipes and stuff. When it rains and the rain comes through these pipes, I guess it makes some nice noise or some music. I'm kind of happy it's not raining today, but if it is raining, when you come here, maybe you can listen to the music. I guess it's supposed to be really cool, but a really nice area. When you come to Dresden, don't just stay on the famous side, on the other side of the river. Cross over and come over to the Neustadt, because it's really cool over here. We liked it. We walked along, a lot of nice cafes and things like that. Just a really cool area of the city, so you definitely got to hit to Neustadt when you come to Dresden. All right, so behind me, some people call this the biggest mosque in Germany, but it's not really a mosque. What this is well, originally it started out as a cigar or cigarette factory, and it was built in 1886. And but the law, the city law, the ordinance back then was that you couldn't build anything in the city that was unsightly. They had certain rules about things, the way things had to look. So when they built this factory, they got their tobacco from Turkey. It was Turkey then, I think it's Greece now. But so kind of the Orient, so to kind of make it look exotic or whatever, they designed it to look like a mosque. And it still very much does look like a mosque, but it's not a mosque. It's not a cigar factory anymore either. It's just, it's been retrofitted for like office buildings and stuff. So something kind of interesting that definitely catches your eye when you're driving downtown Dresden. So it's called Yenidze because that's the area of Turkey, Greece now, where they got the tobacco from when they made the cigars or cigarettes back in the day. Okay, it's not exactly ice cream weather, but we saw people the other day eating these and they looked really good. This chocolate ice cream on a stick. And so here at Camondas, and look at that, man, that looks good too. So we had to try one, €4.50. Oh boy, that's a lot of chocolate. That is very chocolatey. It's good. That's rich. I tell you what, if you like chocolate, you got to get one of these because this is really, really something special. If you don't like chocolate, you're going to hate it.
You should probably share it with someone.
Yeah, I'm going to share it with Betty. Probably too much for one person, but it's really good. And this tops off your chocolate extravaganza here in Dresden. So on a cold, wet, windy day in Dresden, you still have plenty of things to do. We just went to the Old Masters Gallery here at the Zwinger Royal Palace Complex, and it is fantastic. €16 per person to go in, and that includes the Old Masters Gallery and the sculptures collection, and I think the physics museum as well, and the porcelain collection. And just the Old Masters Gallery is really outstanding. Great art from the Dutch masters, from the Italian Renaissance. There's some Vermeer, some Rembrandts, Raffaello, Rubin. There's a really the art just blows you away. You could spend hours. I mean, we spent a couple hours in there. We could have stayed longer. Just really nice, and it's not very crowded. I mean, it's late October. It's on a Friday, and we just kind of strolled around, and it wasn't crowded at all. You could get up to these great masterpieces and really spend your time admiring them. I really enjoyed it. I got to say, it's probably one of my favorite museums I think I've ever been to. Just really, really nice experience. Yeah, it's small enough, it's not overwhelming, and you can really enjoy it. I don't know. I just really liked it. The Old Masters Gallery here in Dresden, in the Zwinger, and I think especially if the weather's kind of not nice like it is today, it's a nice way to spend your day. So if you want to get the most beautiful, iconic picture of Dresden, come to Schlossplatz, and right out here outside of the royal residence. If you look that way, we've got the parade of royals right on the wall right by the right. But there's a beautiful view of the Frauenkirche, the iconic Frauenkirche. And when you come here when the light is right, in the evening, when you get that beautiful light, you can get a very beautiful photo with parts of this building in it and also looking down at the Frauenkirche. So there's your photography tip when you're visiting Dresden. Come here to the Schlossplatz and you get a beautiful picture of the Frauenkirche. Okay, it's dinner time in Dresden, and we are at the Pulverturm, which is right next door to the Frauenkirche. Now, people will tell you, and I'm sure it's true, that the restaurants right down here in the center of town are pretty much all basically touristy places, and I think the Pulverturm is not an exception to that, but it has been recommended. And it does have some nice looking meals. So we've got some Keller beer, which means cellar beer, which is great. And I have Spanferkel, which is like a baby pig roasted, and it smells really good. And I've got the Kartoffelknödel, got a nice crust here. And Betty has some more Sächsisch Sauerbraten, the sour beef roast. And I'm going to cut into this Spanferkel here. Oh, Dankeschön. And got a little bit of sauerkraut here. This gravy looks good. That's really good. That is very delicious. I really like this Spanferkel. The gravy is nice. So this might be a tourist trap. Could be. But I really like the food. I think it's quite tasty. The pork is good. The gravy is good. The sour kraut is good. Haven't tried the canoodle yet, but I'm sure it's good as well. Oh, I haven't had any of the cracklings part yet. Oh, listen to that. Wow. That's excellent. That is really, really good. So we just finished our dinner here at the Pulverturm, which means powder tower, I believe. And like we said, this is it's a touristy restaurant, but I actually enjoyed it. I thought it was very good. My Spanferkel was delicious. It was tender and had a great flavor, and the crispy crackling on top was really, really good. I even liked the canoodle, which I'm normally not a huge fan of those, but I thought it was quite good. The gravy was delicious, and Betty's Sauerbraten was very good too, and her red cabbage. So I thought it was a really nice meal. Definitely kind of a touristy place, but I thought the food was great. Anyway, we had a really good time here at the Pulverturm.
We hope this guide helps you plan the perfect trip to Dresden. And here's a quick question before you go. Is Dresden on your bucket list, or is there another German city you're thinking of visiting? Let us know in the comments. If you enjoyed the video, please hit like and subscribe. And hey, if you see a hype button below, smash that too. It really helps. To see more of our favorite destinations, check out this playlist of our other Germany adventures right here. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.